right, still on Module 8 here. We've got day 3 of those graphs and features. The feature we're talking about today are stuff on positive and negative. So your criteria that you should have by the end, or your target, it should be to be able to identify where the graph is positive and negative. And so this will look very similar to increasing and decreasing, but the definition is different. So by the end, you should be able to write those intervals for positive and negative and write the x and y intercept. That's our target for this. Okay. Right. So a couple definitions here. So positive and negative, we're going to do a little activity to help you with that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at this graph here, and let's say we've got a roller coaster, but this line represents a water level, so it goes below water and above in these tunnels. And so what I want to do is highlight where it's above the water to start with, okay? So that would be right here, again right here to here, right here to here, and right here to here. That would be where it is above the water. That would be the first thing. Second thing, let's color where it's below. So that would be these 3 sections here, and that would be below the water. And then we're going to make a dot where it is at water's level. So we'll just make these big and dark here, which there are multiple spots for that. So if you look at, now that we've colored stuff, the color part of the roller coaster from that are above the lines, that is where it's positive. So all these red or pink sections are positive sections. The definition is what x values give me positive y values. So positive y values are going to be, again, above the x-axis. So the simplified way of saying it is anything that's positive is above the x-axis. Okay. The color part below is negative, so these green parts are negative sections. Again, the definition is where are my negative y values? What x values give me negative y values? And then the dots on the x-axis, those are going to be your x-intercepts. And then the point at where it crosses the y-axis, this red dot, that is called the y-intercept. Okay? So what we want to be able to do is not just highlight it, but we want to be able to communicate where they're at as well. Okay? So we're going to do this with these bottom ones here. That's what our goal is for this right now. Okay? So we're going to highlight first off where it's above. Okay, that'd be these 2 parts. And then where it's below for this one, we're just going to do the same thing. And then we're going to put dots for the x's. And then dots for the y-axis as well. Okay? So this would be how we'd color this. We just need to be able to communicate this now. And so here is how we're going to do this. So for my positive sections, that is these 2, and it is going to be from everything from this point to the left and everything from this point to the right, if you want to think of it that way. So everything here is positive. So I always work left to right. So the farthest left is negative infinity. The farthest right is to -4. And that would just be my interval from negative infinity to -4. And then for the other part would be from 2 to infinity. And I'm going to use parentheses for everything because I don't want to include it. Definition is above, not on. Okay? So that would be for my positive sections. My negative section is going to be, again, I'm using only my x values. It's from here to here. So that would be from -4 to 2. Everything there is below. So -4 to 2, and I'm going to use parentheses, and there's just the 1. Again, only use the x values to communicate, not the y's. Okay? All right, my x-intercepts, that's going to be where it's on the line. So that would be at -4. Sorry, this would be x equals -4, comma, and 2. These are not an ordered pair. They're just saying at -4 and at 2. And then for my y-intercept, it's going to be, again, x. Well, it'll be x equals 0, but sorry, we'll have y equals wherever this y is. That's the only y that we're going to use. The only other time we're going to use y's. Okay? So for your intervals, you're going to use x's every single time. Okay? So that's how you write your intervals. Again, we've shaded everything. Above is positive, below is negative, on is an x-intercept, and then we have our y-intercept. So let's, from here on out, you've got everything. We just need to, let's practice a little bit here, okay? So we're going to, again, I'm just going to continue to highlight above, and then below, and then we're going to go on for my x-intercepts, and then for my y is the same spot as well. And then we just got to communicate. So let's start with that positive. That positive's from here to here in my x. So that'd be from 0 to 4. So I go 0, comma 4 with parentheses, and that'll be the only part of that. For my y, or for my negative, it's going to be from this spot to the left and this spot to the right. But to communicate, I always work left to right. So that would be -infinity to 0. And then do the union. And then this would be from 4 to infinity. Okay, my x-intercepts, x equals, would be at 0 and then 4. Those two spots. For my y-intercept, it's going to be y equals a 0 as well. And so I should be able to do it about like that and about that quick. Okay, my positive, my positive sections on this next one, just practice a little bit more here and here. And then my negative sections are here and here. And on are these three spots. And then I have the y that is right about there as well. Okay, then we just need to communicate. Okay, positive is from here to the left, and then from here to here. So left to right, that would be -infinity to -7. Do my union, because I have a second one, that'd be from 1 to 7. Okay. My negative is going to be here at -7 to 1. Again, everything from here to here. And also from 7 to infinity. All the way to the right. X-intercept is going to be x equals, and I've got 3 of them, -7, 1, and 7. And then my y-intercept is going to be, I think it's 1.5 is what ish. Anything that's kind of in between, let's go a half for that. All right, let's do one more here. One more to finish this. Again, there's my aboves or positives. And then here is my below. By the way, if this ever just touches, I have to write them in 2 separate ones, but this one does not touch, so no problem. So there's my x-intercepts, and there's my y-intercept. So we're going to start writing these. This would be from -7 all the way to the left, and +4 and all the way to the right. So this would be from -infinity, because I work left to right, to -7. And then the union of 4 to infinity. Below is just the one section from -7 to 4. My x-intercepts are at x equals -7 and 4. And then my y-intercept is going to be at y equals -4. And that would be how we would go about doing those. So, all right. Be careful with that. Remember the definitions. Above is a positive, below is negative, and then on is an x-intercept. And then you just got to look and see where it crosses the y-axis for the y-intercept. All right, we'll see you later.